Question number 6. What are the solutions to the quadratic equation shown below? So you can solve this and get it equal to 0 so that you can see the solutions or the x-intercepts. Or we can type it in like we did number 5, where you type in what's on the left and you type in what's on the right, and then you see where these two things intersect, where they cross. So I type them in, and you can see that they cross here and up here. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so that we can see that point a little bit better, and I'm going to tap, and it labels it for me. So again, the question is asking for your x, so we're looking for the x value, so it's a -1. And so here's a -1. And I'm going to keep looking at my other answer choices. Here's a -1. That's not a negative. And that's not a negative. Then I can also go and look at the other place where they intersect. And that x value is 0.2. 0.2. And we don't have a 0.2 in our answer choices. But we do have fractions. This fraction, if you type it in, you can verify that 1/5 is the same as 0.2 or 2/10. It's definitely not the same as 5, so you know that those don't match for sure. But you can verify by typing in, and that way you know that your answer is A. Question number 7. We are going to draw a graph. A linear inequality in two variables is shown below. Here it is. And then it says, draw a graph that would represent the solution set for the linear inequality. And that should be a statement. So we're going to type it in to Desmos. And I'm going to go ahead and hit my little house button so I get a normal graph. -3y is less than -21. Now this number is pretty big and I don't see anything on my screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push, pull, drag until we actually see a graph. Until we see something happening. We're going to go look for it. And this is crossing at 0, 7. So on your graph you can do the same thing, 0, 7. Is your line solid or dashed? It's dashed, so we look for the choice, if there is one, that has dashes. And where are we shading? We've shaded up. So this is a horizontal line. It's going left to right, so we're going to draw our line with dashes. And then we're going to shade up. And I wanted to explain why, even though this is called less than, that we are shading above. If we have -3y's less than -21, to solve this by hand, undo multiply, you're going to divide by -3. There's a rule with inequalities that when you divide by a negative, when you multiply or divide your variable by a negative, you flip the inequality around. And then 21 divided by 3 is 7. So that's why we have this point up here at 7. And the symbol is greater than is shading up. So this was dashed and shading up. Question number 8. A function is graphed on the coordinate plane. Write a linear equation in two variables to represent the same relationship. The two variables is just saying x and y, and that's how we're going to start it, y equals. We need our m. M stands for slope. And slope, remember, is your rise over your run. So we're going to find some points that cross the corners of our squares perfectly. And then we are going to also find our B, which is our y-intercept. So I'm going to look for a point, and here's one right here. And then we can keep doing that pattern. Oh, it doesn't look like it. Let's try that one. If I keep doing the same pattern, it looks like it gets off, so these are not perfect. But it looks like maybe if I do this pattern, it might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up 7, over 3. So let's see if I can do that again and end up on a dot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, over 3. Yes. So our slope is going to be 7 over 3. 7 over 3x. And then our b, our y-intercept, is down here where it crosses the y-axis at -5. And we can type that in to make sure that that is correct. Y equals 7 divided by 3x minus 5. And then we can look at it and see if the graphs are going to go through some of the same points, and we can compare them.